are my girls.
Sunshine, sunshine, ladybugs awake. Clap your hooves and do a little. Oh shit! Hi every pony. Don't mind me. I was just, stretching my legs. Yeah, that's it. Oh, come on, like you've never done this before. I want to go back to the previous episode I reviewed for a bit, which was just for Sidekicks. Upon receiving feedback, I was told a few things in which were obvious, but at the same time, I felt I wasn't clear enough on. To begin with, it was said that Spike wasn't caring for the pets and he didn't treat them like he was supposed to, and even ignored them. He was just in it for the gems. The scene that almost shows that was when he was manipulating the Cutie Mark Crusaders to get the pets off his shoulders so that he can get back to his cake. I admittedly glossed over this because the rest of the episode overwhelmed me, so I forgot about it. So for everyone else's view on Spike, fair enough. But additionally, Angel was along with Spike for the ordeal, and he wanted to stay with the CMC as well, so he too was in it for the worst. And when Spike had to check back when hearing about Scootaloo on Tag's head, he realized the CMC can't treat them well, and thus he had to take them back. This pretty much shows that he does have concern and not mistreat them as I was told, and even though he was just in it for the gems, he nevertheless did the right thing by taking the pets back. And yes, there was also a scene where they were all wrapped up in a ball, but that was just to get them under control given how much aggravation Spike's been under. With the regard of Angel, I can understand the appeal from the other viewers on behalf of him as a brat, and thus betraying him the opposite of his name for the ironic joke. But look, I don't mind his personality that much, but I do mind if his personality starts the story or shifts the direction on a continuing episode. If Angel had not ditched Spike in the first place, there would have been a better connection between him and Spike, and the rest of the episode would have just kept the place in the library instead of just going on a scavenger hunt all over Ponyville, which was the most unnecessary plot direction in the whole episode. So I have to ask, why was it written that way? Well, upon watching the next episode, Games Ponies Play, so they're making these two episodes parallel to what happens to the main six at the same time period. Why? As entertaining as this concept is, what's the point of it here? Something like this could have been used for a finale or a special occasion that's involved. This doesn't add anything special here at all. If anything, this is potential that's completely wasted. But does that deteriorate the next quality of this episode? Absolutely not. So let's just jump right in. So, while Spike's dealing with the pets, the Crystal Empire is put to a test by an inspector to decide whether or not the Empire will be able to host the equestrian games. The main six, as they're involved, are to attend and impress the inspector at all times. Meeting up with Cadence at a grooming spa, they're told some traditions that must be followed. But unfortunately, due to an absence of a stylist who caught a flu, Rarity volunteers to suit up Cadence in a hairdress, as one of the following traditions that are followed. Additionally, the inspector arrives much sooner than expected, which leaves the main five remaining to aid her visit and leave a good impression. As written on a note, it is said that the inspector's luggage is printed with a flower pattern design, which is supposed to help Twilight find her. But since they were in a rush, there wasn't enough time to read it, so she decides to ditch it. What's worse is that thinking they found her, they mistaken a random visitor due to a very similar luggage design for the real inspector, as she is left behind with an aggravating time. You can pretty much guess what happens during the rest of the episode. It's that predictable. My original expectations was to actually see the games. That was something I was hoping for, such as the jousting or perhaps some flight competitions such as the Wonderbolts race. There's so much the potential that could have exploited creative attributes such as the Sport Olympics. But alas, that wasn't the case. My expectations aren't the problem here though. That's just a personal preference. The real problem was the story. It was incoherent, very predictable to every ounce of boredom. It was so thin, nothing was interesting, nothing was compelling, and yet not even the humor, as good as it was able to save it. Firstly, I don't see how the main five would be this clueless upon seeing the visitor that they mistaken the inspector for. I mean, just alone by her optimistic attitude, thick southern accent, and the chicken for a cutie mark, not once are they remotely skeptical in identifying her. Inspectors and critics are supposed to take their role seriously. I know that the note said that her luggage had a flower design, but I'm pretty sure there was much more detail than that. And I know that Twilight was in a hurry, thus she couldn't read the whole thing clearly. But she should have just taken it with and read it along the way. Instead, she just leaves it behind. That right there is a red flag. And nearing to the end of the episode, when the real inspector is found, she talks to Cadence at the grooming spa, ranting about her unfortunate issues during her arrival. All of a sudden, after the beans are spilled by Dash, she voices her professional opinion after listening to the pony everyone mistaken for.
Not so fast, Speedy.
I just finished hearing about how this pony was just treated to the warmest, funnest, most fabulous reception she ever had.
Darn tootin'.
Courtesy of these fine ponies right here. Which, in my expert opinion, amounts to the first ever unvarnished, unrehearsed, and unbiased appraisal of a potential host of the Equestria Games. Which can only mean one thing.
You know what would have actually made this scene better? Give the inspector a tour through the kingdom and make up for the lost cause. Provide her comfort and perform your deeds. I mean, wow, after all the agony she's had to deal with, she just blindly accepts it? Honestly, she deserves better. How does she even know how good it is and what could impress her? The visitor is just easily amused by everything. The inspector is to not just analyze, but experience a good welcome. But nope, she just jumps the shark and lets the Crystal Empire win. I know we wanted the city to win, and there's a lot that can be admired for it, but nothing here feels justified. Now, unlike Just for Sidekicks, where almost every minute was mean-spirited to no end, Games Ponies Play had a much lighter and more positive attitude. The atmosphere was also a lot more wide open, and not so much a shot so close. Character-wise, they all seem likable and well interacted, including the inspector. The visitor can sometimes be regarded as brainless, but honestly, I just found her unaware of everything. Most of her moments were a big meh, but still likable. Rarity's progress and Cadence's hairdress was pretty hilarious, though unfortunately it was just too underplayed. The main five's cheerleading performance was a great take and highly energetic, something I wanted to watch more of. In fact, I have watched more of it several times.
2, 4, 6, 8, name a place that's really great. 1, 2, 3, 4, keeps you coming back for more. 2, 7, 9, 3, the place that we all wanna see. 4, 3, 2, 1, the Crystal Empire, that's the one.
Though at times I would have loved to have seen this used for something more, such as the actual games. But again, that's just me. The humor was a hit and miss, but mostly a hit, most of which are just cartoon slapstick, which only a few chuckles I got out of. But the big ones I enjoyed are Dash's concerns for the cities winning for the hosting. Additionally, we see a hint of Dash's parents along the way, so ha! There are Pegasi parents. And of course, as usual, Pinkie Pie's just being Pinkie Pie. But given that this and Just for Sidekicks have left me feeling empty, this parallel pair just feels so cluttered and rushed, and it's really disappointing that a concept like this was put to utter waste. I mean, again, what was the point? Something like this could have been used for a two-parter or at least a better script. Now, to be fair, if I had to choose between these two episodes in which I would rather watch again, I'd stick with Games Ponies Play due to its cheery level that I felt out of it. Outside of the show, the fandom has been dealing with several unfortunate events. It's been a really depressing couple of weeks, but since we're narrowing down to the season finale, I hope this help brings us out of the slump we're in.